Hello, welcome to Wellness Wednesday with Maple Tree Cancer Alliance. Whether you're newly diagnosed, undergoing treatment, or in recovery, this conversation is for you. I'm Ariel, an exercise oncology educator, and today's conversation is on physical activity and childhood cancers. Following our conversation, stick around for some gentle movement. The information in this video is for educational purposes only, and you should consult with your medical care team for more in-depth guidance and advice. Let's get started. What is physical activity? It is any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles that require energy expenditure. Some activities do not require as much energy, such as board games, drawing, or painting, and activities that involve higher energy expenditure, which means they need more muscles to produce the movement, is walking, biking, running, dancing, or yoga, among many other things. The American Cancer Society and American Heart Association recommend that preschoolers ages 3 to 5 should participate in 3+ hours of active play per day and replace screen time with movement. Kids and teens ages 6 to 17 should engage in 60 minutes per day of moderate to vigorous activity and include strength building exercises 3 times per week. Adults 18 or older should engage in 150 minutes to 300 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity exercise and strength train at least 2 days per week. Childhood cancer affects children and teens ages 0 to 19. It is the leading cause of disease-related deaths past infancy. It can develop anywhere in the body, and the most common types are leukemia, lymphomas, brain and spinal tumors, bone cancers, and neuroblastomas. Can children in active treatment be active? The answer is yes. There is strong evidence that proves children as young as 8 years can participate in yoga and light strength training under supervision. Kids receiving intensive chemotherapy or undergoing a hematopoietic cell transplant are able to stay active. Obviously, depending on how they feel, that exercise or movement intensity is going to vary. Physical activity has many benefits. It improves motor skills, body composition, strength, and endurance. It can positively impact mood, school performance, and long-term wellness, and even support better responses to chemotherapy treatment. It reduces treatment-related side effects while addressing obesity and muscle loss, and it promotes lifelong healthy habits and provides a sense of normalcy and confidence during treatment. You want to make sure that you're being cautious. We know that cancer treatment can cause impaired fitness, decreased muscular strength, impaired neuromuscular coordination, balance, and flexibility. When someone is going through chemotherapy or radiation, it can cause low hemoglobin levels, and exercising with anemia places increased oxygen demand on the body and can cause the heart rate to increase. With that being said, you want to make sure that the intensity, the mode, the duration of any activity that you are going to do is modified and accommodates to how you are currently feeling. And cancer treatment can also cause low platelets, which can increase the risk of bleeding. So you want to avoid high impact or high resistance training movements. And some special considerations. You want to avoid strength training under the age of 7. You want to avoid high impact repetitive motions because they may affect growth plates, and you want to avoid overexertion. If it's chemotherapy week, making sure that you are not doing too much, prioritize rest, finding that balance between energy conservation and exercise will be super important. Thank you so much for being a part of our conversation on physical activity and childhood cancers. I hope the information we've covered has brought you some clarity and comfort. Your health and well-being are what matters most, so please take care of yourself, stay informed, and remember that hope is always present. Now, let's transition into some gentle movement to further support your journey.
Hi, I'm Sivia, your exercise oncology instructor with Maple Tree Cancer Alliance. Welcome to week 9 of our 12-week yoga program. This week, our emphasis will be flowing with focus. You will need a yoga mat, and it will be good to have a pillow or a folded up blanket as well for any modifications. The following exercises are meant to be pain-free, If you notice any pain in any exercises, please skip and go back to what felt good. There may be some discomfort, especially after surgery, but there should not be any pain. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started on our backs today. If you can, let's keep our legs all the way extended. Let's put one hand on our tummy, one hand on our heart, and let's just take a couple breaths here while we're laying on our backs. Just taking a moment before we get our bodies moving. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Full inhales and full exhales. On your next inhale, we're going to bring our arms and our legs to star pose. So bringing our arms out and up, and then bringing our legs a little bit out at an angle. And just holding here and feeling a little bit of that stretch. Take a breath, and then we're moving our head left and right, slow and controlled. And breathing with the movement. On the inhale, let's come back on our backs and bring our legs to our chest. Nose to the knee, big stretch here. And then arms reaching out, legs going down. And doing that 2 more times, arms coming up, touching the knees, squeezing in and back out. Breathing in when you squeeze in. And exhaling as you bring it out. Let's do 1 more. Good. Take a break here. Good. Let's bring our legs up. Rotate the ankles. You can bring your arms down to your sides. Point and flex the foot. Good. Bringing our heels back down right behind our pelvis. For windshield wipers, let's go left to right. Just waking up our hips and our pelvis a little bit. Good. Making it even on each side. When you're ready, knees to chest and rocking up to an easy seat, crossing our legs. I'll turn this way. Bringing our arms all the way up on an inhale. And forward folding, reaching nice and long if you can. Take a breath here. Good, reaching our arms back up. And switching the legs for another forward fold with the opposite foot on top. Reaching up high on the inhale, exhale, forward fold. Good, coming back up, reaching our arms up again, nice and high. Bringing them to the backs here. Placing our hands right behind our hip bone, sitting up nice and tall, lifting the chest, slightly squeezing the shoulder blades. Taking a couple breaths here. Good, release. Let's do a couple shoulder shrugs. Let's go forward 3. And back 3. Good. Bringing our arms up to our shoulders, up to our ears, dropping them down. Loosening up those shoulder muscles and those neck muscles. Good. Arms up. Let's do left and right side bends. Just waking up the spine a little bit. Coming back to center, going the other direction. Good. Let's meet back to center. Going back down to the right for our side bend flow, coming forward. Just do 2 on each side. And coming up to the opposite side. And coming back down and around. Bring the left hand up. One more. Good. And back to easy seat. Let's take a breath. Good. From here, let's go straight into tabletop from your forward fold. So we're rolling up onto our knees, getting our good foundation before we move or do anything. Wrists under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Let's do a couple cat-cows. So rounding the spine, tucking the pelvis, tucking the chin. And cow, extending, chin forward, belly drops. Inhaling for cow. Cat. And exhaling cow. Let's do one more. Good. Push back to child's for a little bit of a low back stretch. Simple variation here if you want to move your hands for a little bit more of a rest. You can put a pillow here and let your forehead drop. Just kind of eliminate some of the tension on the shoulders if that's not comfortable. And then coming back up to tabletop. So from here, we're going to be doing a couple different standing and floor movements. We're going to be coming up and coming down in a different sequence a little more frequently, but they're going to be pretty straightforward movements, and the first flow will go kind of slower, and then the second we'll speed it up a little bit. So we're in tabletop. We're going to make our way to standing, but before we do that, we're going to lift the back leg up, point and flex the foot. We'll do our right leg. And then all we're going to do is bring it forward between our hands, and then we're just going to push up to standing forward fold. So holding here for just a minute, making sure there's a micro bend in the knee. Breathing, feel that stretch in the spine. Good. From here, we're coming up to standing, really sinking in with the hips. As we come up, we're pushing with our legs, a good foundation in our feet, and then bringing our arms all the way up and reaching nice and high. Palms touch, slight back bend. Hands to heart. Take a breath. Reaching up again. We're diving forward for a forward fold. Touching the mat. Micro bend in the knee. Now place your hands on your shins, and we're doing a halfway lift, coming up halfway, just like it says, with a flat back for a different kind of stretch here, and then lowering back down to our forward fold, and then stepping back with our left leg, back with our right, and then from here, we're coming into a modified plank. If you'd like to have a little challenge, you can go to a regular plank, but we're going to start with a modified. So when you're in your modified plank, you want your back to be nice and straight as much as you can. If this is a lot of tension on your knees, you can put a pillow or a blanket under it. But you won't be here too long, ideally. And then we're doing something called chaturanga. So we're tucking our elbows in, and we're slowly lowering our chest to the floor. Lowering the back feet, and slightly lifting the chest for baby cobra. If you're able to do more, you can lift all the way up. Take a breath where you're at. And then release down. Taking our forehead to our mat, we're gonna stack our hands and just take a quick rest break. Lifting up the back legs, windshield wipering on our stomachs, a little different. Good. Okay, from here, release the legs, and we're coming straight back up into tabletop. Good. Push back to child's, low back stretch. Breathe. Good. Coming back to tabletop, let's readjust, get our foundation. This time I will do a plank coming back down, just to show what a plank is to chaturanga, but you are more than welcome to still do the modified plank. So from here, we're just gonna lift the back left leg, point and flex the foot. And then let's bring it up in between our hands, and then stepping forward right to meet the left leg for a forward fold. Take a breath. We're gonna sink into our stand, get your foundation, and then we're gonna stand all the way up. Now, we're not holding here for too long. Once we come up, we're moving right into chair position. Sink the hips. Holding here for just a minute. Breathe. Good, and release to forward fold. Good, take a breath. We're doing halfway lift. And folding back down. All the way to chaturanga before with our full body plank here. So lowering down, elbows tight, pushing up into baby cobra. If not, we're coming up a little higher for that low back stretch. And then lowering all the way down, coming right into child's. So pushing up and back. Couple breaths here. We're going to do it one more time. Good. Coming back up to tabletop. Readjust and get your foundation. So from here, your leg of your choosing, we're just going to bring our leg up and then bring our other leg up to standing forward fold. Good. From here, we're reaching all the way up high, slight back bend, moving straight into chair position. Widen your stance a little bit if you need to, sink the hips. Good. From here, we're moving our hands down to our sides for a skier chair, holding here, and bringing our arms back up. On the inhale, we're doing one more skier. Good. Breathing. Release to forward fold. Good. Micro bend in the knee. Good. Stepping back to plank or modified plank, tightening, keeping those elbows nice and close to the body, slowly lowering down into cobra or baby cobra. Take a breath. And lowering the chest back down, palms on the floor, forehead on your hands. Take a rest break for just a minute. Good. Lift those knees. Let's windshield wiper again. You can put a cheek to the hand, whatever feels good. Good. Let's release that. Let's come through back to tabletop. And we're going to do one more position in tabletop, just a really quick flow that is going to release that low back a little bit. So instead of a cat-cow, we take it from the cat, from child's, we're bringing it up, and then as we come forward, we're dropping the belly and then pushing back to child's again. So it's kind of a spinal back flow that really gets that loosened up and moving. Our backs take a lot of strain and strength throughout the day. So however we can increase our mobility, and then we'll rotate and go the other direction. So our chest will come forward, pelvis up, and then cat going back into child's. Take your time, go slow. Good. And let's meet back in tabletop. Getting our foundation again here, reaching our right leg back and out to the right side for an inner hamstring stretch. Holding here if this feels good. If you'd like a little more, push back. Take a breath. Good. Rolling up back to tabletop. Leg comes back to midline, and then we're going left for a calf stretch. Looking over the left shoulder, looking at that right foot, and coming back to midline and releasing. Lifting our left leg for the same thing on this side, reaching it out to the left, planting that foot, pushing back, and a breath here. Good, coming back up, crossing midline, going to the opposite side, looking back at that left foot. Good, coming back to midline and releasing, push back to child's. Couple breaths here. Good, let's come up and then meet on our backs. Full body stretch to release any tension that we've built up. And then let's go into straight star pose like we did in the beginning. Just reach those hands and those legs in different directions. Couple breaths, just relaxing here. Good, bringing our knees in to our chest. Tight squeeze, roll the knees. Both directions. Good, lifting the legs up and over. Planting the left leg, crossing the right ankle over the left knee for a supine twist. We're dropping to the left and looking to the right. Good. Let's come back to midline. Bring both our legs up again for our stretch. Drop that right leg, left ankle coming to right knee for a twist, dropping to the right, looking to the left. Coming back to midline on the inhale. Full body stretch. And then we'll rock up to easy seat. If you're taking Shavasana, you can do that now. If not, that will conclude all the flows and the postures today. Thank you so much for letting me guide you, and I will see you next week.